probably a bit weird to call this like a testimony, because usually with testimonies it's kind of a good outcome, but in a way this is a good outcome. So just as a little kind of background thing fully, is I am somebody who, when I'm looking for a new job, I will rush in. That's why I've had so many jobs. Like literally so many jobs. Like, I'm only 31 and I've had so many jobs. A lot of them are in like fast food, but the idea is, once I don't like to be in a job, I tend to kind of just rush in and grab another job, and then turns out I don't even like that one, and it just becomes a massive circle. But anyway, so I'm planning to change completely from the sector that I'm currently doing, and to go in with working with children, vulnerable children or vulnerable adults. It's looking more so children, but anyway, whatever. So so I had an interview. I was supposed to have an interview today, and it's one of those things where I asked advice from somebody who kind of works in this sector and everything, and he told me it's best to actually, maybe not as best to go private, and actually go with the council. So if you wonder, it's like working with like kids and stuff. This was a residential home. Anyway, so with his advice as well, he did say to look on the Ofsted report. So the Ofsted report aren't what you call kind of glowing, but I just felt that I really the problem with me is I care a little too much. But thinking about it now, if I was ever in that situation where management is pretty poor or they're not doing things, it would stress me out. Because anyway, I have all this love to give, because sometimes I I always say I care a little bit too much. I've did a whole video about that with God saying it's not bad to, anyway, that's a whole other video. But anyway, I have a lot of heart for people and if things aren't running correctly, anyway, I thought I'd give them a benefit of a doubt. Maybe they have improved. I mean, they went from needing improvement to God, which still isn't that great. But anyway, so so I went to the place that I was supposed to have the interview. It's only like 20-minute walk, so I was like, you know what, give them benefits out. Turns out, bear in mind, this woman messages me at night when I'm in bed. She apologised for the late. I only saw it this morning, and I replied to it like 5 o'clock in the morning. I said, yeah, I'm still up for this interview. During that time, I did not get no message saying, oh, it's not at the children's home I've applied for, it's the one in the other location. Didn't get any of that. So when I came down there, it was like, oh, it's not here, it's actually in that other location, which was like, it kind of was a red flag for me, because before even going to the interview, I literally prayed and I was like, God, just if I went in as if I was gonna get the job. But I said to him, I said to God, I said, if I do get this offer, should I go for it or not? And because obviously, to have that situation, to be able to help these vulnerable people and, you know, these vulnerable kids and stuff, but at the same time their Ofsted report wasn't great, and which highlighted a lot of it being management, which isn't great. And that, so I felt that all this that happened, I was like, you know what, I'm not even going to go to this other branch. I felt that it was literally God saying, just don't even bother. Just don't even bother. And I feel like God kind of like saved me. I mean, the Ofsted report should have been red flags, but as I said, I care too much, and I see a situation that needs improving. I'd want to go into that situation and help improve it. But for just one person to try and do that, it's just not gonna it's not gonna happen. You know, it's just gonna cause more stress. But I just felt that at that moment God was like, just don't go and rush into things. So it's like, unfortunately, that obviously didn't happen, but again, I think that was kind of God saying, just, it's not for it. I know you kind of want to hurry up and get in a rush into this, but you know, not yet. This isn't the job or the company I want you to work in. But yeah, it It's a bit, what's it? But then as I was walking home, I thought, actually, I won't say anything about what, other than the management, but there was a situation which I thought, what on earth? Anyway, but as I said, when I see kind of situations like that, I want to kind of change it and help, but it would be too much pressure on me, and I'll get even more stressful when things happen and it's that and this, that and that. One person can't make a difference, like a worker on their own, to try and kind of, it can, anyway. So yeah, that was kind of like a lesson. And what I did want to say, a lot of people will pray and ask God, should I do it, should I not, should I do this all the time. I'm gonna be real, I do this quite often, but even though I do it quite often, this situation I didn't actually know. But a lot of situations I say that and I know he wants me to do it. I'm just waiting for a no, which is not gonna happen. Anyway, whatever. But a lot of people will ask and they kind of looking for the most obvious thing, and it might not be the most obvious thing, whether it might not be straight up yes or no. It could be like a situation that happens that actually helps you like maybe think, okay, should I really go into this or do that, or should I do that, so it doesn't necessarily, you won't get necessarily a straight answers of yes or no, which I think a lot of people are hoping for. But because God wants us to use our brains as well, and he'll put, like, as I said, this was an option. I could have gone to the one in Mikalova, but I just felt that it was just not to be. He'll give you like he will kind of give you like an option, like a yes or a no, or it will put you basically in a situation. He'll give you all the facts, and then it's still up to you whether you want to do it or not. You won't always get a yes or no answer. Like this situation, I didn't get a yes or a no answer. I just got a situation that happened that actually made me think, actually, I think this is kind of validating, is the fact that I shouldn't go for it, because it's clear that management, they can't even do the basics of contacting their candidates the right address, and maybe their management when it comes to actually running the homes isn't as good, and I should probably just not even bother, because it's just going to cause me stress if I do get this job. So it's kind of one of these things where you're not always going to get a yes and no, but things will happen that kind of gets your clogs kind of clogging. So it's always important to kind of be at your wits, especially when you do answer this question, because it could be giving you like a sign or something, but you may miss it. But yeah, so I just thought I'd just share this kind of, I'm still calling it a testimony, I'm still going to call it a testimony, but yeah, I thought I'd just share it with you guys.